Hi, this is James, Comic Book Shifu, and welcome to Read More Comics. On this episode's Pulls and Pickups, I'm going to be sharing my haul from my LCS. I had honestly, some surprises for me. And then on top of that, I had an opportunity. My wife and I were running some errands in the area of a half price books. And so I did some dollar bin diving. Well, $1.50, economy and everything. Picked up some additional books I needed for my Uncanny X-Men run. I'm going to be sharing that and some other things that I'm going to be honest. I think as a collector, we all have these idiosyncrasies, these books that we always pick up, and we might not have a rationale for it, but it makes sense in the moment. So I'm going to share that. Excuse me. Allergies been terrible. So we're going to start then with my comic book haul from my LCS. The first two books, I'll be honest, are kind of cool. I didn't expect to see both of these in the same week. And originally, one of these wasn't on my pull list, or at least this cover wasn't. As I mentioned on some previous videos, DC is doing this Artist Spotlight Month. And this month is Gabriel Del Auto. He's one of my favorite artists. He kind of has that classic look of actually using paints and colors. And don't get me wrong, I don't mind artists that use technology to create their art. I still recognize it as art. Let me adjust my camera a little bit. Oh, wrong way. There we go. That's a little better. That was bothering me. Anyway, so here we go. We got Wonder Woman issue number 2. This is a part of the Tom King run. Haven't read the issue number 1 yet. I'll probably start when I get the next issue in. I like reading 3 or 4 issues at a time. Gives me a sense of where the arc's going, the story development. Something I've mentioned before. I've been doing since the pandemic. But this is, I think, Del Auto's first rendition of Wonder Woman on a comic book cover. I originally had the Samney cover pulled. Really enjoyed what he's been doing on Shazam and capturing the emotion, the energy of Shazam and the rest of the Shazam family, or Shazamily. I think that's what it's called. Anyway, so we got Wonder Woman, and then also a Tom King book. I didn't realize until just now I have 2 Tom King books I'm pulling. Is The Penguin. Okay. Like Wonder Woman, I have not yet read The Penguin, and I think this might be, again, Del Auto's first rendition of the Penguin on a comic book cover. Could be wrong. What I'm going to enjoy about both of these, in fact, is Tom King. I was reflecting on this. I'll be doing a comic book review video in the coming days. And one thing I realized is I really enjoy certain writers, certain artists, and I tend to follow them from book to book. It's not that I get every book that they write, but I'm more inclined to. Tom King is one of those writers. I got hooked on Tom King first on his Batman run. I know some of the run was weaker than other parts, but as a whole, the story he was telling, I thought, was really compelling, especially with the relationship between Catwoman and Batman. That relationship is still kind of affecting the character, and the interaction between characters and Selena Kyle, even now. I enjoyed what he did with the Visions. My first kind of exploration of him as a writer was in Sheriff of Babylon. Highly recommend picking that up. I think it's a two volume graphic novel. It's kind of a maxi series with 12 issues in it. Very compelling stuff. I even enjoyed some things that other people hadn't as much. Drawing a blank on the one maxi series he did where he ended up blaming Wally West for a murder. Really enjoyed the story. So anyway, I'm looking forward to reading both of these. I just haven't reached that precipice yet where I have enough books where I can enjoy it with my coffee on a Saturday or Sunday morning. Okay. Next up, we have Uncanny X-Men. This is issue number 129, the facsimile edition. I like these facsimile editions because, for the most part, they give me access to a key book that otherwise would be outside my price range. the more expensive Uncanny books aren't really something that I'm driving towards right now. There are other places I want to leverage the resources uh, I have in my comic book budget. Um, and so I get a run filler, and it's a really pristine cover. I see these facsimile editions. They're almost like another printing. This is like a second or third printing of this book. I know some of them don't hold up as well. They are a lot better, I think, in my mind, than the True Believer covers that Marvel used to come out with a couple years back. I think they stopped right around 2020, 2019 maybe. Next up, we have Star Wars D Squad. This is the droid action figure cover. I'm really digging these. My wife and I just finished again. She doesn't realize this, but I've watched the Clone Wars series multiple times. We just finished season 5, 6, 7 over the last week. Really enjoyed it. That show's held up well. And so getting D Squad is kind of just a nice homage, a nice callback to that. We have, let's see, Red Hood issue number 2. It's a Gotham War tie-in. I went with the variant cover. This is cardstock. I'm not sure who the artist is. I don't recognize the signature. There was a nice plot twist at the end of Red Hood issue number 1. I'm not sure how long term that plot twist is going to hold up. We'll see. Batman did some things that were kind of beyond the pale, if you will. And I'm trying to keep it spoiler free, but I've enjoyed the tie-in because honestly, Red Hood isn't an engaging character for me. I think it's one of those characters where they haven't gotten someone to figure out what to do with the character in a way that tells a compelling story. Obviously, he is DC's version of the Punisher, except with just, in my mind, a cooler backstory. So anyway, and hey, nice tie-in. DC is they're releasing, what is it? They're calling it a faux facsimile of the issue of Batman where instead of being killed by the Joker, he is going to survive. So I might pick that book up. That's supposed to be coming out soon. Next up, we have Straczynski's run on Captain America. I kind of enjoyed the last one, though an issue I have is, and I've seen this in a couple different things, instead of just having this nice espionage story, we end up having a big bad guy with a floating city that no one's known about for like 100 years. And it's just like, you could have done all that, but you don't need to have something so over the top. Because honestly, if Captain America is dealing with that situation, it kind of begs the question, why aren't you calling in the Avengers? I think the MCU dealt with that pretty well in the 3 Captain America movies, Civil War, dealing with, well, why aren't we calling the Avengers to deal with this issue? Because the Avengers on the other side of that airport and we're about to fight them, but in the Sentinel of and Symbol of Truth, there's some nice storytelling going on, and then it was kind of revealed there was this big bad guy, floating city, all that. Wasn't necessary in my mind to tell a good Captain America story. So haven't started reading this yet, but I'm looking forward to Captain America, hoping that Straczynski kind of brings it back down to its roots of maybe not so over the top storytelling. Don't get me wrong, it was fun, but next up we have Batman Beyond, Neo Gothic. This is the B cover. Again, another on point variant cover. I love the minimal trade dress that DC's been doing, and the cardstock covers with these B covers. Like, just kind of, this is a variant cover for Marvel, but it's on their regular paper stock. Where with the B covers, DC puts that on cardstock, and they really hold up well. I don't know, just the extra quality allows for a better presentation. Last, this was a surprise for my LCS. Apparently, I ordered a copy of Superman for All Seasons. This is the 2023 graphic novel. And it's ironic because on the back right there, I have the Absolute Edition that I unboxed just about a month and a half ago. Forgot I ordered it. That's the wonderful thing about Previews World. You go in, you order things when they first show up in FOC, and then months later they show up. And if you don't have some way to keep track of what you're ordering, you end up with some extra stuff. So at worst, I have something I'm going to put on my shelf, and I can loan out to friends who might be interested in reading a comic book. I have some work friends like that this might be an entry point, because if they know anything about Superman, they can read Superman for all seasons. The art is engaging. The story is engaging. They're beautiful vignettes. So worst case, I'm going to do that. The upside is, I might be gifting this to one of my kids. I don't know. That reminds me, I just realized there's a colleague that loves dogs. I got Stray Dogs, the graphic novel, right back there. I need to bring that in tomorrow, see if they want to check it out. Anyway, that's a way we can we can continue. I want to use the word, but I'm a little tired right now. We can cause other people to engage and get hooked in this amazing hobby, because really what we're pushing is the love of books, the love of comic books. So, going to finish up and wrap up another video with some half-price books. Pulls a couple books for my Uncanny X-Men. This is $4.43. Has a spine roll to it, but it's $1.50, so it doesn't bother me. It's a run filler. If this was a key and I really do want to get a better copy of it, there's no doubt in my mind I'll be able to find it as a modern book. We have $4.45. This is in much better shape. I think there's a little spine ding here, but you can't see it because of the color. It's not a color break. And then these are two books that apparently I just have this compulsion to pick up every single time I see them. First appearance of Kate Kane, pre-Batwoman. Second appearance of Kate Kane, or maybe this is the cameo and this is the first appearance. I don't remember. This one has more value than this one, though. I have I think 6 or 7 issues of each now. I don't know why. Batwoman is not at the top of my list of characters. It's a cool character, don't get me wrong, but it's just something that every time I see it, if it's a buck, I'm buying it and adding it to my PC. Anyway, thank you for watching another episode of Pulls and Pickups. If you liked what you heard and saw, please like, share, and subscribe right down below, and please read more comics.